It is said that you should never underestimate your opponent. If you underestimate, you will face the worst. But it is a fact that many MMA fighters tend to ignore this old saying due to their overconfidence. Cocky fighters are always overconfident, but this is something that often leads to massive defeat. UFC 248 and UFC 275 will always be remembered in UFC history because Joanna Jędrzejczyk, who went cocky in these fights, got humbled by the Chinese Zhang Weili. UFC 248 in particular is considered the greatest match in UFC history and is, of course, the worst defeat of Joanna Jędrzejczyk. So how did all this happen? Historic defeat. Keep watching this video because this fight will keep you on the edge of your seat. In UFC 248, Zhang Weili and Joanna Jędrzejczyk had what many consider the greatest fight in women's MMA history. If someone claims it's among the best MMA bouts ever, regardless of gender, it wouldn't be an incorrect statement. And that's exactly what happened. Across 5 rounds, China's Zhang and Poland's Jędrzejczyk didn't just fight for the UFC strawweight title. They fought as if their lives depended on it. It played out like a real-life movie, captivating fight enthusiasts, regardless of the fighter's gender. If you were a fan of the sport, this battle was one to be remembered. Zhang held a notable 20-1 record and became a national star after winning the 115-pound title by defeating Jessica Andrade just over 6 months earlier. Jędrzejczyk found herself in a unique career position. After a dominant reign as strawweight champion, she lost the title to Namajunas in 2017 and had a 2-3 record in her 5 fights leading up to UFC 248. One of those losses was against Valentina Shevchenko in a bout for the vacant flyweight title. However, Joanna returned to strawweight, defeating Michelle Waterson to earn her chance against Weili.
And now introducing the champion out of the red corner, 20 wins, 1 loss. She stands fighting out of Beijing, China, the reigning, defending UFC strawweight champion of the world, Zhang Weili.
The bout was highly anticipated, not only due to the stakes and the distinct fighting styles of each athlete, but also because there was a prevailing sense, as the old saying suggests, that every great fighter has one exceptional fight left in them. Both fighters were active from the start, but a minute in, Jędrzejczyk connected with a powerful right hand, and her close-range combinations had the former champ smiling and taking the lead. Zhang found her rhythm midway through the frame, throwing with significant power and capturing Jędrzejczyk's attention. High-volume striking battle in round 2, Jędrzejczyk diversified her attacks, and in the second minute, they engaged against the fence.
Right up there with Amanda Nunes.
I don't think anybody's been around or Shevchenko since Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
Yeah.
So she can handle the power.
And in 125, it's Shevchenko.
Bold character since 1872. Shot from Zhang Weili. Now reverses Zhang into the fence.
I got to correct myself again to Shevchenko.
They took turns controlling, with Zhang landing elbows and Jędrzejczyk countering with knees. With just over 2 minutes remaining, Zhang shook Jędrzejczyk with a right hand, prompting the Polish native to reset. As the round concluded, the crowd roared in response to the fast-paced action, but Zhang's eye was visibly swelling. Moving into the third round, Zhang came out fast, landing some hard shots before Jędrzejczyk settled back in and continued with combinations. When Jędrzejczyk switched to southpaw, she found more success.
I'll tell you what, these girls are not playing it safe.
No, they're both fighting beautifully too.
I think she's looking for a left high kick. I think that's one of the reasons why she switched up.
With about 2 minutes left, Zhang briefly clinched with Jędrzejczyk, and upon separation, Zhang came back strong. The high-paced action continued in round 4, with both fighters refusing to back down and taking turns rocking each other. Although it was Zhang's first time in the championship rounds, she continued swinging aggressively. However, Jędrzejczyk appeared fresher. With about 2 minutes left, Zhang landed a hard shot to the forehead, but Jędrzejczyk kept moving forward. In the final 30 seconds, Jędrzejczyk, checking the clock, maintained her intensity, bringing the heat. Both fighters showed the effects of battle on their faces, and there was no let-up once the final round began.
Elbow, left hook.
My goodness, this is a fight.
I mean, Jędrzejczyk is not even recognizable.
The exchanges remained intense in the 5th round, much like in the 1st. A left hook by Zhang briefly rocked Jędrzejczyk in the 2nd minute, and the champion surged forward.
I think she took it right on the nose, and it just twisted up.
So you want to be a fighter.
But Joanna is such a savage.
Yeah, she's so tough, man. Oh,
And she's
yeah, Joe,
touching
look
that
at the nose.
It's all crooked.
Then it was Jędrzejczyk's turn, scoring with several hard blows. With a little over 2 minutes left, Jędrzejczyk clinched for a brief rest, but both fighters were determined to leave nothing in the tank. They didn't, with Jędrzejczyk landing a spinning back fist and Zhang responding with a punch just before the horn, ending the leading candidate for 2020 Fight of the Year. Zhang won a split decision over Jędrzejczyk with scores of 48-47 twice and 47-48, retaining her title. Both fighters received Fight of the Year honors on UFC.com. In their intense clash at UFC 275, Zhang Weili clinched victory by knocking out Joanna Jędrzejczyk with a striking spinning back fist. The official stoppage happened at the 2:28 mark of round 2. This 115-pound bout, labeled a title eliminator by UFC President Dana White, unfolded with high stakes. Let's take a look at how Joanna Jędrzejczyk was again knocked out by Zhang. After the fight, Jędrzejczyk took the mic and decided to announce her retirement. The former UFC strawweight champion, approaching 35, expressed her desire to become a mother and a businesswoman after over 2 decades of training. She removed her gloves, leaving them in the octagon, conveying gratitude and love for everyone. The knockout occurred amid a chaotic fight that was shaping up as one of the most memorable of 2022. In the opening round, Jędrzejczyk and Weili threw powerful punches and kicks, exciting the fans. Weili secured a takedown 2 minutes in, unleashing effective ground and pound on Jędrzejczyk. With relentless top pressure, Weili had a full mount with 1.5 minutes left.
Reverse. When you get back with the body lock, and she was able to just...
She's just out muscling her.
Yeah.
Forces technique, throws the leg to the sides, come down with a huge right.
Jędrzejczyk got to a hip there for a moment.
Full mount.
Now mounted.
Oh, my goodness.
Joanna's going to get on her side.
She has got to start pushing at the hips.
In the final 30 seconds, Jędrzejczyk stood and landed a significant left hook on Weili. Both fighters continued their intense exchange until the bell.
Breath under 30 to go. A big collision there.
Telling you, it's going to do a lot of damage. She's really leaning into it.
But now look at her. She's a fighter.
I told you.
And she's right back in the fight. Exactly what you said, Mike.
It is in a cage. Only one thing is going to happen, and that's this.
Oh, big there it is from Jędrzejczyk now. Right where we left off. UFC 275 is diabolically.
The fast-paced action carried into round 2. Jędrzejczyk delivered hard leg kicks, met by Weili's response. Weili attempted a throw but missed, getting hit with a combination as she got up. In a subsequent exchange, as Jędrzejczyk pressed forward, Weili spun and connected with the fight-ending blow.
She cannot afford a round 2 like round 1.
She tried to do a hip throw. Joanna did a fantastic job of recognizing.
That 1-2 hurt Joanna.
I think so too. Under 3 minutes here to go, round 2. Who do you think should win Crypto.com's fan bonus of the night? Those 3 favorite athletes win up to 30K in Bitcoin. Vote now.
Joanna's constantly
Oh!
pressuring.
Spinning back, that's it! Both Jędrzejczyk, and that'll do it! Zhang Weili putting a capstone on the rematch!
Wow!
This result marked Weili's recovery from her first setback in the UFC, having faced 2 consecutive losses to Namajunas, losing her UFC strawweight title and falling short in the attempt to reclaim it. These defeats were Weili's first losses in the UFC career. Before this downturn, Weili had enjoyed a 21-fight winning streak. Jędrzejczyk retired after this match, but it's almost as if what happened for both fighters before and after March 7th, 2020 doesn't matter, because 100 years from now, the titles are nice, and the accolades are great. But when you mention Zhang Weili and Joanna Jędrzejczyk, the first thing you'll remember is the 25 minutes they spent making history in their UFC 248 match. Although Jędrzejczyk had a great career spanning 2 decades, she appeared cocky in both of these 2 matches, as if she had underrated Zhang Weili. Do you think she had underrated Zhang, or if she wasn't prepared? Tell us in the comments below. If you love to enjoy cocky and arrogant fighters getting humbled, click on the screen right now to watch another cocky fighter getting destroyed. It will leave you stunned.